After studying this module, you shall be able to know what the classical theories of management are, learn about the scientific theory, administrative theory, and bureaucracy, identify the principles of management, evaluate the merits and demerits of all the classical theories, analyze the significance of the classical theories. We shall commence this module by studying classical theories of management. Classical theories of management are the oldest and the most traditional theories of management. These theories were generated in late 1800s and early 1900s. They revolve around the basic assumption that people are motivated by economic incentives. The classical theory can be further categorized into three theories: scientific management theory, administrative principles, and bureaucracy. First, we will discuss the scientific management theory. This theory was propounded by Frederick W. Taylor. He is also called as the father of scientific management. He gave the following principles. Every job should be broken into its element and a scientific way of performing should be established. Workers should be scientifically selected with the right attitude and ability and be properly trained. Scientific distribution of work between workers and management. A mental revolution is needed, which means creation of mutual trust between workers and management. Maximum output in place of restricted output should be produced as it is beneficial for both management and workers. Techniques of scientific management. Number 1. Time study. This study emphasizes that the ideal time to complete a job should be identified so that the efficiency of workers can be increased. 2. Motion study. This study studies the ideal type and number of movements to complete a task so that workers can be trained accordingly and generate maximum output. Standardization and simplification. Every output should be of a specified standard, and in order to do that, simplification of tasks is a must. Scientific task planning. Each job should be planned in a systematic manner with step-by-step approach. Differential piece rate system. Differential piece rates should be advocated for efficient and inefficient employees. For example, 10 is the standard output. If any worker produces more than 10 units, then he or she shall be rewarded at $6 per unit basis, while if any worker produces 10 or less than that output, then he/she shall be rewarded at $5 per unit basis. So, an employee who produces 12 units will earn $72 and one who produces 8 units will earn $40. Functional foremanship. Each job should have 4 office supervisors and 4 shop supervisors. Office supervisors are the ones who take care of the administrative and written documentation, while shop supervisors are the ones who help in implementation on the shop floor. Office supervisors are route clerk, instruction card clerk, time and cost clerk, and disciplinarian. Shop supervisors are gang boss, speed boss, repair boss, and inspector. Critical evaluation. The theory has been criticized by many authors on the following account. Mechanist approach. This theory assumes man as machinery. It assumes more the money provided to men, more will be the number of units produced by them. The truth is man has his or her limitation. He, she cannot go on and on to produce. Man gets bored and fatigued, and hence after a certain limit cannot produce. Number 2, narrow view. The theory has a narrow view whereby it assumes that men can only be motivated by money. The truth is, men have needs beyond money, like need to be loved, need for affection. 3, unrealistic assumption. Assuming that money is the only motivator is wrong, as if it was so simple to get maximum output from workers. Then why would there still exist workers who are inefficient? Impracticable. Not appreciating the emotional, social needs of human is impracticable. We all know how men not only wants money but also requires love, affection, etc. Exploitation of labor. High piece rate leads to exploitation of labor. Charlie Chaplin is the best example how monotonous work can make a man retarded. Environment not taken into consideration. Producing maximum output when there is no demand for the output is not worth it. Thus, deciding the number of output to be produced should be based on market demand rather than producing maximum output in place of restricted output. Now we shall discuss the administrative theory. This theory was given by Henry Fayol. He divided the administrative activities into 6. Number 1, technical operations are concerned with producing and manufacturing products. 2, commercial operations are concerned with buying of raw materials for product and selling of finished products. 3, financial operations involve searching for an acquisition of capital and allocation of capital to various functions in an optimal manner. 4, security operations refer to the adequate steps taken for safety of products and goods. 5, accounting operations include all accounting aspects of the organization, including recording and taking stock of cost, profits, liabilities, assets, preparing balance sheet, etc. Number 6, managerial operations were Fayol's primary concern, and he defined these in terms of 5 functions. These functions are planning, organizing, command, coordination, and control. Management principles. Fayol also proposed 14 principles of administration which he believed are most often applied. Division of labor. Work should be divided according to the skills and abilities of workers so that it promotes specialization and reduces time of work. Number 2, authority and responsibility. Authority should always be in parity with responsibility. If an employee has more authority then responsibility, then he would misuse that authority, and if the responsibility is more than authority, it will lead to inefficient work. Discipline. Every organization has its set rules and regulations. Thus, all employees should adhere to those rules and regulations. Unity of command. Every employee should have only one boss so that there is no chaos and confusion. Unity of direction. There should be one head and one plan. Subordination of individual interest to organizational interest. Organizational interest should always prevail over organizational interest. Remuneration of staff. All employees should be fairly paid to motivate the employees. Centralization. Centralization refers to the concentration of power in a few hands, while decentralization refers to distribution of power amongst employees. The scalar chain. The communication should follow the formal channel in hierarchy. The line of authority should run in order of rank from top to bottom. However, this proved to be very time consuming in cases when people in different departments but at the same level of hierarchy needed to communicate with each other. Fayol solved this problem by introducing the gangplank, where such people could communicate with each other directly but with the permission of their superiors. See in the figure of scalar chain. The one line of hierarchy is A, B, C, D, E and F. The other line is A, H, I, J, K and L. The people at the same level are, for example, E and K. They can communicate with each other. Number 10. Order. Everything should have its specific place, and every employee should also have his specific place, like in bank. Outside a branch manager's cabin, it is written branch manager so that people know where to look for the branch manager. Equity. All employees should be treated equally. That is, there should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, gender, etc. Stability of tenure. Employees should be given a stable tenure in an organization so that they can become comfortable with the rules and culture of the organization and produce productive results. 13. Initiative. Employees should be encouraged to initiate new ideas. 14th. Esprit de corps. Employees should work in team, as teamwork is more efficient than individual work. Criticism. This theory has been criticized on the following fronts. The effect on the environment has not been taken care of in this theory. Human side has been completely ignored. There is lack of empirical evidence to support this theory. The theory states that management can be taught, but what should be taught has not been referred to. There are numerous classifications of managerial functions. Fayol's management functions are not the only ones. The principles of management cannot be universally applied. Further, we will move on to discuss the concept of bureaucracy. Max Weber has introduced the concept of bureaucracy. Features of bureaucracy. Number 1. Division of labor. Work is divided according to ability and hence leads to specialization. If a person does the same type of work again and again, he/she automatically gains specialization in that work and it takes less time to complete the task. Number 2. Technical competence. Selection of employees is based on technical competence. Only those candidates should be selected who are technically sound for the job. Thus, selection should be fair and unbiased. Hierarchy of authority. A well-defined hierarchy is maintained. Each employee is aware about who his or her boss is and from whom he/she is supposed to take orders and whom to report. Record keeping. All the records are kept in written form. Keeping records in written form helps in keeping track of all the activities. Number 5. Rules and regulations. Organizations work according to preset rules. Every organization should define rules and regulations for better productivity. Adhering to those should be compulsory. Impersonal conduct. No informal or blood relations are promoted. Nepotism and brotherhood is strongly avoided to ensure only the right talent gets selected and hence the productivity also increases. Demerits. Number 1. Predictable. Since the rules are clearly defined, the employee's behavior is predictable, making the management process easier to implement. Specialization. Division of work leads to specialization of labor, as all employees know what they are supposed to do. Structure. A well-defined hierarchy gives a structure to the organization. Every employee is aware that who his or her superior is and also who his or her subordinate is. Rationality. As impersonal conduct is promoted, it leads to rational decision making. Decision is based on facts and logic rather than emotions and gut feeling. Demerits. There is too much of paperwork and red tape. Red tape refers to putting a red tape on a file and moving it from one table to another. For example, a comedy show on Sub TV, Office shows this aptly. Excessive rules and regulations make it difficult for the employees to be creative and innovative. Employees become so used to the routines that they resist new ideas and hence promote rigidity. In the wake of following the rules, somewhere the goal of the organization is displaced. Each department works like a watertight compartment, giving rise to the problem of compartmentalization. Now we shall recapitulate what we have learned so far. Classical theory can be categorized into 3: scientific management theory, administrative theory, and bureaucracy. Scientific theory stresses on doing work scientifically. Administrative theory classifies administrative activities into 6: accounting, security, management, technical, commercial, and financial. Scientific theory of management was given by F. W. Taylor. Fayol has given 14 principles of management. Fayol says that every organization usually has 6 operative functions, namely technical, security, accounting, finance, commercial, and managerial. Max Weber propounded the theory of bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is a well-structured form of organization having rules, regulation, and promotes impersonal conduct and work specialization.